Okay, welcome to part 5 of this tutorial. This is going to be flash lines. This one is pretty simple, I think. I'm going to just copy the trail source and paste it. And then I'm just going to change this to flash lines src. I'm going to go in. And all of this is pretty much the same. Yep, even this is going to be the same, except I want to change the seed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this time. And the constant activation though, I want it at the start. And also, I've forgotten something, right? So I wanted to go back to the trail source again. I just want to clear something up, right? So what happened, or what is happening here, is that I was looking at a particular frame, and I thought maybe, you know, it's only 0 to 0.16, but it's not true, because that can change, vary over time. So I'm going to get rid of this fit to, and also I realized that I cannot use speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that speed completely, and obviously that renders this code useless, but it doesn't matter, it's there. And now this, let's just double check if this range is correct. No, that is not correct, so I'm just gonna enable this 0 to 1. Yep, that's fine, because we have gotten rid of the speed and the range will not be at 400. So I'm going to get rid of that also. It's definitely sticking between 0 and 1, which is good. So, alright, that's looking good. We should probably run this, but I'm going to disable these and then run it and see how it looks. Okay, it's finished it. Let me run it. There, you can see a lot clearly that that is what is happening. Okay, you can see now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go out and go into Pyro import and create a volume visualization node. So I'm just going to set this up. Density field, density. Yeah, that's all fine. Emission field will be, let's say, temperature for now. And I'm going to say like 10. Whoa, that's not right. So I'll change it to heat. Yeah, that's okay. And change this to black body. 10 is too much. Maybe 1. Okay. Emission color field is temperature. Maybe we do need that. Yeah, there you go. And now you can clearly see where the temperature is. Okay, so boom, there you go. That's what I wanted. So speed is probably not a good candidate to use in this scenario, but here it is. It works now. Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up. Okay, so let's go back and enable all of this and go right back into flash lines source. Okay, so inside of PopNet I changed the constant activation frame and the seed, and the life expectancy I want to change this to 2 and 1, because you know, that's enough, but I want a little more of this. Yay. All right. Yeah, that's looking good. Nothing else to change here, so let's get out. And in trail, I do not want 8. Okay, so 8 is going to give you that much of lines. I don't want that. I just want the trail length to be 2. Like, this is why I said it's like flash lines, alright? I don't know if it makes sense to you, but boom. Maybe we can go inside and change the pop drag no, not pop drag, pop property a little bit. Maybe I'll change the drag to 0.7 and give this, I don't know, 2. Bounce forward, I will make this 0.8, and then bounce from 0.2 to 0.4, and mass from 0. No, we don't want that. 1.2 or 1.5 to 2, something like that. Okay, slightly different. Okay, all right, I'm gonna save this. Everything is exactly the same apart from these 3 nodes. We don't want them. I'm just gonna delete them. Oops, I'm gonna delete them. I'm gonna call this out flash lines. Okay, good. Now let's get back into Pyro Sim and let's start hooking this up. This is going to be slightly different. It's not going to be added to one of these here. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a SOP geometry. Pull this out to here. And I'm going to bring this across to here. And I'm going to change the default operation to set always. And then I'm going to create another node called apply data. Connect it here. Connect that to here. We're applying this data onto the solver, but we need something to apply it to. Oops. So I'm going to say bring in gas particle to field. That's what I want. I will also add a merge here because I'm going to bring in one more element towards the end of this tutorial. So our destination field is actually fuel, and our attribute that we want to bring in is temperature. And then I'm going to say accumulated, but I'm going to change all this to 0.1. Oops. And set always. All right. This is just to add a little bit of lines. That's all it is. Okay. I'm going to disable all this so that you know what I'm talking about. Let's run this. You see that? Those lines? That's what I'm talking about. Okay. That's what it is for. And it's probably too much, so I'm going to go into Flash and reduce this to 0.01. Okay, I'm gonna increase the resolution. Okay, that's good. I only want a very subtle amount of this, not too much. You don't need to do this because flash lines is technically for another reason, but I wanted to add it just in case. All right, so that's looking good, but maybe we can adjust these. You know, I'm gonna actually leave these at default. I'm gonna see how it, all right. Yeah, that makes more sense because now smoke is actually going with our geometry. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the jitter a lot. Okay, so I'm going to pull this all the way there, and I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to bring this down also. Okay, so something like that. Only a little bit gets the jitter, the rest of them don't. So and let me run this through again. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. All right, good. And let's enable these and check it out. gonna change it to light background just so that I can see better. Yeah, you can see it. It's very mild, but it's there. Okay. Maybe we can change the poly wire to, I don't know, 0.15, I guess. Let me disable this. Yeah, that definitely looks better. Okay, good. Let's see if I can actually oh yes, I forgot. It's actually the speed we don't want. We don't want the speed, and we don't want either of this. Okay. Delete it. I forgot. I actually copied this before I made the change. Okay. Now let's check it out again. I think that's looking okay. All right. Good. Fine. Okay, so flash line source is now ready and it's in the pyro sim now. Everything is working fine. I'm just gonna double check what polywire has. It's 0.02. That's fine, I think. In fact, I'm gonna just drop it down to 0.01, and if I got trouble later, I will change it. Okay. Let's create. And look, here's this. This looks really weird, and that is because of the pyro import volume visualization here. I set that up only to visualize the trails, not anything else. So I'm just going to disable that for now, and let's create an RS light. And I'm going to call this flash lines light. And I'm going to go into light and change the shape to mesh. And mesh object will be our out flash lines. Okay, and I'm going to change the mode to temperature. Change the temperature to 1000. Intensity multiplier to 1 and exposure to 1. All right, let me delete these REDSHIFT nodes and I'm going to create brand new. Just copy that across. This is what I created the flash lines for. So if you don't like the look of these things in here, you can just disable that and that. All right, no big deal. Okay, so let's render this and see what comes up. Okay, there you go. So it shows up, which is good, which is what I wanted. I, however, don't like the sky shader. Yeah, that's a lot better. I mean, it's not a lot better, but it's okay. It's going to work. It's fine. If I increase the kind of volume contribution scale of the sunlight, you'll start to see our smoke come out, which is good. Okay, I've just removed the display flag of pyro import because I didn't want to run through the explosion sim. But now if I render, you see it's gotten much smaller. So in effect, what this is doing is it's emulating motion blur. Okay, so next part is part number 6. So that is going to be embers. Okay, we're going to do that now.